Namanda, 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 Namanda. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's Sunday service of August 23rd, 2020. Today, we are going to sing Vandana, Ti-sarana at first. Then we are going to chant Junirai. And as you see on the screen, if you are watching this on YouTube, you will see Junirai on the screen. So if you don't have physical copy of Shin Buddhist service book, you can just keep watching the screen. But if you don't like watching the screen and if you want to actually use the Shin Buddhist service book, Vandana Ti-sarana is on page 167. And then Junirai is on page 63. So please, was it 67, 63? 67 actually, Junirai is 67. So 167 for Vandana Ti-sarana and 67 for Junirai. Okay. No. Hold on. Please join me in Gassho. Please put your palms together. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Buddhaṃ saranam gacchami.
Buddhaṃ saranam gacchami.
Dhammaṃ saranam gacchami. Sanghaṃ saranam gacchami.
Sanghaṃ saranam gacchami.
Namanda. Now we are going to chant Junirai. Keshu Tengin Shokugyo Amida Senryozoku Son Zai hi mimeu annako Muryo bushi shuine Konjiki shinjō ngyosen no シャマタ行行造部両目上脈小蓮華高雅長来弥陀尊面前円上行満願以降有行千一願商業天空しら高雅長来弥陀尊観音頂戴観智有寺主十名相法称言農福下道馬家馬高雅長来弥陀尊無味無苦高症状修徳敬受尿国小差利益徳自在高雅長来弥陀尊実法明門菩薩衆無量小魔女三段一生修上願力寺高雅長来弥陀尊根体法見智正見前言症状名大座おひざ上行線の高雅長来弥陀尊実法将来勝負し権限人無視安楽戦後尊厳欲行高雅長来弥陀尊小無常無我と薬行水願念養老一種説法無明寺高雅長来弥陀尊依存無説無悪名略無行人悪道夫衆人死心教非尊高雅長来弥陀尊非尊無量法勉強無所修 悪知識往生不退死菩提高雅長来弥陀尊ガセンヒソンク独自修善無変如海水小逆前言小乗者衛生主上小非公ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブガンニシクドク平等聖祭道本菩提心往生安那こナマンダブツナマンダブツナマンダブツナマンダブツナマンダブツナマンダブツナマンダブツナマンダ。Now we are going to read our pledge. You will see our pledge on the screen. Our pledge. Breaking out of my shell, I will share a warm smile and speak gentle words, just like the kind Buddha. Not becoming lost in my greed, anger, and ignorance. I shall think and act with an open mind, just like the calm and peaceful Buddha. Not putting myself first, I will share in the joy and sadness of others, just like the compassionate Buddha. Realizing the gift of life I have received, I shall strive to live each day to its fullest, like the Buddha who tirelessly works to liberate all. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda. Now, I would like to share Wasan written by our founder, Shinran Shogin. And this is on page 410 of Collected Works of Shinran. So please join me in Gassho again. If we had not encountered Amita's directing of virtue for going forth and returning, our transmigration in birth and death would have no end. What could we do then, sinking in this sea of pain? Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Good morning, everyone. So today, using Zoom as one of the platform to live stream to YouTube so that I can use the PowerPoint during the chanting and sharing the Wasan of Shinran Shogin. So still, this is the test. If I push this, I wonder what happens. No screen or blank screen? Okay, then, oh, I'm still on the corner. Okay. What I want to do now is to stop sharing the screen so that you will see whole picture of this Oregon Buddhist Temple and myself. But one thing is that my Zoom is in Japanese. That's one thing. So I have to come down, right? Okay, so it's almost same as in English. Yeah, the red part, red button. But hopefully, when we start physical service, we do these similar things like live streaming the service through Zoom and YouTube so that you can still see the whole chanting and reading and what I want to share for the Dharma Talk. But anyway, this year, 2020, had been really a strange year with a lot of incidents such as pandemic of COVID-19, explosion in Lebanon, wildfire in California, and so on. And some people might wonder why did things happen to the human beings, and some people might say that this is our karma. But actually, karma does not mean fate or destiny in Buddhism. And Buddhist attitude is that all things have causes to happen. So when we think about the pandemic of COVID-19, it happened because we did not know how scary the virus is at the first, and we did not do what we needed to do at the early stage. Explosion in Lebanon, it is still in investigation, I guess, but leaving tons of explosive chemicals caused the explosion. And wildfire in California is climate change, drought, and so on. So all the things must have causes to happen. And we should carefully look into the causes, and we should start thinking about how to reflect this in the future. Learning from the past, learning from present, and how we reflect to the future. But most important thing is that everyone is staying safe and healthy in this really difficult year so that I can see you physically, hopefully in near future. And as some of you know, I've been reading Wasan poem a day and explaining it every morning. And one day, it was Wasan talking about transmigration. Abrahamic religions talk about the human beings as the creation of God. So there's no transmigration, and they appreciate this life which is created by God. I think that is one of the ways to appreciate this life, and I have no objection about it, but Buddhist view is different. One way to appreciate this life from the Buddhist perspective is to think the connection of this life from the past. As I talked about this many, many times, if we go back 15 generations back, we all had 32,768 direct ancestors. And our life could not be here today if we lacked only one direct ancestors in the past. So our lives being here today is really amazing thing. And our lives cannot be taken for granted. But we often live as if we are able to suddenly welcome tomorrow. So with the appreciation, we also should rethink our way of thinking, not taking each day for granted, but think as a gift of life. So this is one way to appreciate our lives being here and now. And this is probably the positive way of looking at our lives being here and now from the Buddhist perspective. Another way to look at our lives start with little pessimistic, but end up with the appreciation. You know my name, right? I'm Yuki Sugahara, okay? I'm Yuki Sugahara, and this life as Yuki Sugahara is here today, and this is the only life I have as Yuki Sugahara. But my life had been transmigrated from the innumerable kalpas, distant past. That is because this life had no chance to experience emancipation, liberation from this world of birth and death in the past. We have this life here today because we did not encounter the teaching, or we did not accomplish what we need to do, what we need to accomplish in the past. In Indian cosmology, there are 5 or 6 realms of samsara. Samsara means birth and death, or reincarnation or transmigration. That are heavenly beings, human, fighting spirit, animal, hungry ghost, and hell being. We might have been insects in the past life. We might have been dog or cat or monkey or any kind of animals. We might have been in hell. We might have been living in the heaven as heavenly beings. And we might have been another human in the past. But we did not encounter the teaching to emancipate this life from samsara. That is why our lives are here today. And what is different from the other religion is that heaven or hell is not the permanent abide. Even we born as deva, heavenly beings, there are limits of life, even though it is much longer than human's life. It is said devas one day is our 50 years. So they have really long life. But it doesn't mean they live there forever. Deva, heavenly being, is still the part of this samsara. So this means that falling into hell is the same thing. It will not be the permanent abide for us. So even born into heaven is not permanent thing, so that we look for the way to transcend this samsara. So heaven is not the goal for Buddhists. Heaven is still the part of this samsara. And, the goal of Buddhism is to attain nirvana, Buddhahood, or the birth into the Pure Land. It's all same thing. But anyway, Shinran Shonin he wrote in another lesson, and he said that we are experiencing transmigration because we practiced the difficult practice with the mind of the self-power in previous life. We didn't realize that this being is incapable of accomplishing the difficult practices. And we also thought that what I do creates virtues and merits to emancipate ourselves from this samsara. So that caused the transmigration and led our lives to be here today. So of course, as I said, this life is an amazing life to have. We inherited this life from our ancestors. But on the other hand, we didn't experience emancipation. That's why we are here today. So this is one of the Buddhist perspective of life. But now we finally encountered the teaching which emancipates us from this samsara. That is the teaching of other power of Amita's primal vow. Because we don't rely on our own practices or the mind of self-power, but rely on the working of Amida Buddha to bring us to the emancipation. In Pure Land Buddhism, which is the birth into the Pure Land and attainment of Buddhahood. Because we rely on the other power of Amida Buddha, we are finally free from this samsara. And Shinran Shung is teaching us that this teaching of other power of Amida's primal vow is the only way we are able to emancipate ourselves from samsara, transmigration. Then, a moment ago, I said that the goal of Buddhism to experience emancipation, nirvana. But Mahayana Buddhism's goal is a little deeper than that. Our own attainment of nirvana is important, of course, but also the others' attainment of nirvana is important. As Amida Buddha vowed us, I will not attain perfect enlightenment if this vow will not be fulfilled. Own attainment of nirvana and the other's attainment of nirvana is strongly connected in Mahayana Buddhism. That is why we are taught that we come back to this world of samsara to lead the others to the attainment of nirvana, birth into the Pure Land, after we attain birth into the Pure Land. So this is also the part of the working of Amida Buddha, directing of virtue for our returning to this samsara. So I said that this understanding of life start out with pessimistic way and end up with appreciation. Those who encounter the path of other power, Nembutsu, this will be the last life in this samsara. We will not experience transmigration anymore. I know in this life, we experience many happy things, many fun things, also many sad things and difficulties. That is why this samsara is a realm of suffering. We cannot experience only happiness, but we have to experience really sad things in this world. But as Shakyamuni Buddha said in his last days, when he was about to pass away, he visited one of the town called Vesali, and he said, Vesali is beautiful, and our life is beautiful. So when we go to the places we only able to go for once in our lifetime, I think we try to enjoy the place as much as we can. So this life in samsara is the last time for us. So those who encountered the teaching of this other power Nembutsu, we enjoy this life as much as we can with a mind of appreciation for our ancestors, for transmitting this life to us, and to Amida Buddha for bringing us to the emancipation from this samsara. And when we know that this is the last time in every encounter in this life, I am sure that we appreciate this life more than before, even with this difficult time with pandemic, wildfire, and so on. So I hope today's talk was somewhat helpful. And in closing, please join me in Gassho. Please put your palms together and let me share the Wasan of Shinran Shonin again. If we had not encountered Amida's directing of virtue for going forth and returning, our transmigration in birth and death would have no end. What could we do then, sinking in this sea of pain? Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda. Namanda. So this will conclude today's morning service. And next week, we are going to have regular service. We have Dharma Exchange. Is it next week? 13th, the September, right. So BEC, Buddhist Education Committee, were discussing that we are going to have a Dharma Exchange via Zoom, right? Yeah. So you will hear more about the Dharma Exchange. You know, it's really exciting to see all of you, even though it's virtual. You know, I really enjoy my study class on Wednesday. So, you know, I see many members of the temples. And I also enjoy the discussion during the study class. So I hope to see you on this Sunday service until September 13th. And then September 13th, I hope we will see you at the Dharma Exchange. Okay, so thank you for joining us for the this Sunday service. And in closing, please join me in Gassho. Please put your palms together. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Okay, I hope you will have a great day today and enjoy the sunshine. Thank you.